Hello dear viewers, it is once again time for the news here on Rwanda Television. My name is Serish Nhori. As always, we will begin with the headlines. Both chambers of Rwanda's parliament have begun the third ordinary session of the 2022-2023 fiscal year that will last for 2 months. The Gender Equality and Social Inclusion Learning Forum, organized by the NGO World Vision International, is currently taking place here in Rwanda. And now the details. I will be sitting in for Sam Kalisa for this edition. As we just noted in the headlines, both chambers of parliament have begun the third ordinary session of the 2022-2023 fiscal year that will last for 2 months. Jessica Gassaro with the details.
In the plenary session, they examined the bill and activity report, including the report of the commission in charge of monitoring the use of finance and national resources, which followed the implementation of the measures announced by the government through verbal explanations. Some of the ministers reported to the plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies related to various mistakes made by the Auditor General in the use of finance and national resources. On the other hand, the Economic and Trade Commission presented to the General Assembly of the Chamber of Deputies an analysis of the report of 4 in-depth audit conducted by the State Audit General on the development of cities supported by the city applicants. The Prime Minister's service to continue to monitor it.
Services za Minisitiri w'Intebe kugaragariza inteko ishinga amategeko umutwe w'abadepite.
In the service to the Prime Minister to demonstrate to the Parliament, the Chamber of Deputies, how the government agencies responsible for coordinating urban development activity make plan and prepare the plans and that have not been completed, show the result of the activities and the budget that will be needed and if it is available, the participation of the public, private sector and other partners. For the Ministry of Trade and Industry, to show the Parliament, both chambers of deputy, how the industries are classified according to the activities, taking into account the environment, the best use of land and opportunities that appear in each area to be carried out in less than 1 year. They were also asked to show the Parliament, both chambers of deputies, how places dedicated to the industry will be built according to the available budget, instead of distributing it among all the places at the same time and ending up with no specific results. This must be done in less than 6 months. For the Ministry of Local Government was asked to show the Parliament, the Chamber of Deputies, the standard that cities surrounding the city of Kigali have achieved in creating jobs based on the development plan given by the country, this to be carried out within 6 months. They were also asked to indicate when the study of the City Management Office roadmap and institutional capacity development in secondary cities will be completed to help in the preparation of the table of work position that respond to the specific of the support areas in the city of Kigali. This should be done in less than 6 months. For the Ministry of Infrastructure, they were asked to present to the Parliament, the Chamber of Deputies, the plan roadmap of the vision planning for the 4 cities surrounding the city of Kigali in order to prevent construction in the chaos that makes it expensive to the government when it's necessary to move people for the public interest. This to be carried out in less than 6 months. They were also asked to the Parliament, the Chamber of Deputies, when the work plan to build the road in Rubavu district, Petite Barrière, Karundo, Buhuru, will be completed. This will be done in less than 6 months. And to present the Parliament, the Chamber of Deputies, the plan to replace the high-pressure light on the road that uses a lot of electricity and be replaced by the light-emitting diode that uses light electricity. This should be done in less than 6 months as well. Jessica Gassaro, RwandaTV News.
Those who are displaced by floods and landslides in Rubavu district say they can't return. That is, they can't risk going back to their old homes due to their fear of getting hit by more natural disasters. We have more on that with Sam Kalisa.
Inyemeramihigo is one of the 2 camps in Rubavu district, home to 2,102 residents who were affected by disasters. They say there is no plan to return to their old homes. The basics are shelters, clothing and food. When you have that, there's no other big issue. Being here affects us because we wish we can live better lives. If there is a way, they can help us to relocate and work to earn a living as they help us to reconstruct our own homes. 1 month following the deadly floods and landslides, those who live in the Nyamnyumba and Rugerero camps have continued to receive the basics they need. Some have been given money for rent, while others have returned to normal life. The acting mayor of Rubavu district, Zawonima Deogratias, noted that the needy are going to be helped to get new homes.
We're
in discussions and residents have all the information. We thank them that they accepted to relocate from their homes without even being compensated. We thank them that they saw the tragedy that happened and drew lessons from them. The disasters that occurred on the night of 2nd and 3rd May, affecting the northern, western and southern provinces, killed 137 people, 28 of whom are from Rubavu district.
Thank you, Sam, for that report. Now, coming back here to Kigali, genocide survivors who were saved at the Gisimba Memorial Center acknowledge that the lives they are living now are thanks to the dedication, love and kindness of the late Damas Gisimba Ntezinhare. Jessica Gasar with the details.
The Gisimba Memorial Center is known to have saved the lives of many and given some children hope of life. Ntezinhare Gisimba Damas, the founder of the Gisimba Memorial Center, died due to illness. He was a man who was considered an example because of his courageous action, especially during the genocide against the Tutsi. He hid 100 of Tutsis in his school. We came to hide here and we were many people. I don't know how he used to do it, but I think it is the Lord who was working in him. He had a way of treating Interahamwe and they didn't kill us. He knew all the name of all the children living here. He loved people, and people used to learn more from him, especially doing something with your heart. After the genocide against the Tutsi, this center continued to receive many children, especially those who lost their parents and those who were separated from their family, until 2015, when the government of Rwanda established a policy that every child should be raised in a family. However, this did not cause this center to close its door. Most of the children, including me, received a family to go live in, but this center did not close the door. They started a new program of providing emotional support to those who needed it. I came here after the genocide. My own child grew up here and now they are in the 4th year. He continued to help me even if I was working here. We learned a lot from him, especially the love he had for the people. Since this Gisimba Memorial Center was opened in 1980, it has received more than 3,000 children currently. In the new program of this center, children are supported in the lesson they received in regular schools through art, which many believe will be a permanent memory of the deceased. Jessica Gasaro, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Jessica. Now, staying in Kigali, residents are asking for the expedition of activities aimed at the expansion of the Nzove water treatment plant because these activities have resulted in some areas not having adequate water access. The Water and Sanitation Corporation, meanwhile, has asked the general public to bear with it because everything possible is being done to resolve the issue. Shina Teta with more.
Regarding the issue of lacking water, which has been observed in some parts of the city of Kigali, some residents say that for some days they have lacked water in their areas. According to the Water and Sanitation Corporation, this issue is due to the activities aimed for the expansion of the Nzove water treatment plant, as it has been observed for 2 weeks in 17 sectors of Kigali, together with sectors in Kamonyi district in the southern part of Rwanda. The Chief Executive Officer of Water and Sanitation Corporation, Giselle Umuhumuza, also requires citizens that continue to face the challenge of lacking water to be patient and assures them that it will be solved as soon as possible. It means that after, we shall have to distribute water from the Nzove water treatment plant as well as water companies of Kimisagara, Kanzenze and Karenge. In that period of 15 days, we shall announce places that will be having water access so that they can fetch and store water to sustain them. After expansion, the Nzove water treatment plant will expand by about 25 cubic meters, and among the places in which water tanks were built include Gisozi sector, which will help to distribute water in pipes that had no water. Citizens in Gisozi sector hereby request for the expedition of expansion activities for them to stop fetching water from swamps. There are no tanks here, yet they have for long promised us that they shall build tanks. You cannot cook and bathe without water. We therefore request them to provide water to us. As means to overcome the challenge of lack of water the citizens are facing during this sunny season, the Water and Sanitation Corporation promises that following the completion of expansion activities, the scarcity of water will reduce and some places will have permanent access to water. After completion of expanding the Nzove water treatment, we shall increase water in pipes by at least 30% and distribution channels will increase as well in places like Bumbogo, Bweramvura, Gisozi that usually face water shortage and all around. On a daily basis, residents of Kigali City and its suburbs, especially the nearby areas, who usually take water from Kigali, use more than 120,000 cubic meters, and the Water and Sanitation Corporation says that there is need for at least 150,000 cubic meters in order to fully provide water to the citizens of this city. Shina Teta, RTV News.
World Vision International says it has set goals of strengthening equality and harmony, ensuring that no individuals are left out regarding its responsibilities towards the communities it serves. This is while here happening in Rwanda is a 5-day Gender Equality and Social Inclusion Forum that was organized by World Vision International. Shina Teta continues.
Jeannette Nikuze, a resident from Rulindo district, says that her background is the reason behind her school dropout and engagement in early marriage. We would lack scholastic materials like books, and we also had a hard time getting health insurances like Mituel. Being the firstborn child out of 8 children at home, I dropped out of school while in primary 6 and got married, but faced hardships as well because my husband would come home drunk, yet we were poor. Jeannette Nikuze, on the other hand, expresses how assistance from World Vision International, together with joining her fellows to form a cooperative named Tubeho Dukora, doing craft work, has brought change in her life. World Vision helped us. We were 15 in number and they funded us with 750,000 Rwandan francs. I was able to get health insurances for me and my siblings, take care of them and my family as well. The 5-day Gender Equality and Social Inclusion Forum started on Monday in Kigali, Rwanda, and was attended by 30 countries from around the world, where they discussed about equality, harmony, and ensuring that no individual among the communities that the World Vision serves is left out regarding its responsibilities. The National Director of World Vision in Rwanda, Pauline Okumu, appreciates the progress that Rwanda has made in terms of equality and harmony, saying that it is what they follow as their trajectory path in their daily activities.
Based on what we do, our strategy, we have prioritized different sectors based on their needs. That's livelihood and resilience, education, water and sanitation, health, and within all those sectors, gender equality, social inclusion is integrated in all of them. So when it comes to Thrive, we don't discriminate. Earlier on about, for example, the hygiene room for girls, that's one of the core intervention areas that we ensure that is captured into that. Girls going to school, we follow through. We work very closely with the security organ or the child protection unit to ensure that girls and boys, all of them, go to school. We have monitoring in place whereby if there is dropout, then we are following out why is it that children are dropping out of school.
Dr. Jacqueline Ogega, the Senior Director of Gender Equality and Social Inclusion at World Vision in the United States of America, says that gender equality is an area that needs more strengthening.
Efforts do we put in place to make sure that there is enough funding to advance the work on gender equality and social inclusion. So among us today in the forum, is our donors like USAID, the United States Agency for International Development. We also have WFP and also other peers and civil society organizations. So one of the goals is to say, how do we invest more resources to promote gender equality and social inclusion? The second goal is to look at programming quality. So once we have been able to raise enough resources and we have programs that promote gender equality and social inclusion, the question we ask is, how do we ensure quality of implementation?
Mihai Batamuriza, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, says that more efforts will continue to be applied.
Questions I would like to leave here with you is, how can we ensure that gender equality and social inclusion are integrated across all sectors and programs? What strategies have proven effective in breaking down barriers and promoting inclusivity? What role can technology and digital innovation play in advancing gender equality and social inclusion? How can we harness the power of technology to bridge gaps, amplify marginalized voices, and promote inclusivity? How can we leverage partnership to drive the integration of gender equality and men engage? These questions provide a starting point for our reflection and discussion during this forum.
According to the Ministry of Gender and Family Promotion, Rwanda ranks first in East Africa and 7th globally among countries that tackle the gaps in gender equality. Shina Teta, RTV News.
The Ministry of Environment here in Rwanda has announced that the revised plan for the development of an eco-friendly economy will require at least $2 billion annually. This was noted during celebrations to mark World Environment Day. Shina Teta once more.
On the World Environment Day, individuals with environment protection works presented them. We collect all used plastic materials that have been thrown away and we buy them, and therefore we make tiles out of them that can be used in building and decorating. As celebration of the World Environment Day, everyone is required to contribute towards the fight against the pollution caused by the use of plastic. And the Minister of the Ministry of Environment says that Rwanda has done many things in regards to environmental protection in partnership with different authorities. We have our country's vision of 2050, and we want to go in line with it and with all sectors, including the tourism sector, which is why we revised the plan to achieve our goals. The Ministry of Environment presented the new plan for the development of an eco-friendly economy and dealing with climate change that was revised in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme as more efforts for Rwanda to handle climate change and establish an eco-friendly economy. The revised plan lies in direction with Vision 2050 that Rwanda has set and will help in reducing air pollution. Maxwell Gomera, the United Nations Development Programme representative in Rwanda, says that Rwanda has made a remarkable step in combating the use of plastic.
If you look at what Rwanda has done on the plastics pollution, it is one of the few countries globally that has reduced plastic pollution by up to 90%. That is remarkable. This country, somewhere in East Africa, that many people may not have heard about, is now a world champion in terms of what we are doing with pollution.
The Ministry of Environment indicates that $2 billion will be needed every year to finance the revised plan to develop an eco-friendly economy and deal with climate change by 2050. Shina Teta, RTV News.
So that is the end of the news here on Rwanda Television. Stay with us for more programs, and I hope you have a great week ahead of you.